WDS Mike here in Phoenix, Arizona. If you've been to a shopping center or strip mall, okay, you have seen the pizza parlor, right? The Hallmark card store. Maybe there is an ice cream or yogurt shop, okay? Maybe a shoe store, eyeglass repair shop. All of those tenants have signed leases. Someone owns that building, and all of these businesses are signing leases over multi-years to basically occupy that space. If it's you and you're thinking about negotiating a space, you've been growing your business at home and now you need to get out in a storefront, maybe you're already in business but you need to relocate, maybe you're growing. Today I'm going to help you get there successfully. Let's learn about how to get in front of that commercial space, negotiate it properly, and start well enough ahead of time. Let's do this. If you've watched my other video about hiring an architect well ahead of time before opening up your commercial business, then you know you need to do that 12 months in advance. If you're not hiring me, I'm still going to give you pointers. Maybe you're in the middle of this now. Here's how you negotiate the lease. First of all, I am not a legal counsel. I'm not a commercial broker. I'm not trained in real estate. But being an architect, dealing specifically with commercial clients and all those folks opening up businesses, I see this every day, and I myself can give you all the pointers you need, and I'll give you a bonus at the end. This is about 15 steps. I'm going to break it down into about 5 areas. The first is knowing your landlord and knowing the property, okay? So the first tip, find out who owns the building. Usually it's a big group. We're talking about retail strip centers on the corner, the shopping malls. They have the grocery store, the shops buildings. That's what we're generally talking about, multi-tenant building. You can find out who owns that, go on public records, do a research, find out their financial standing, find out how big of a group they are, find out how long they've owned it. That may let you know if you want to get involved and lease commercial space there. It may also give you a foothold on how they may negotiate. Okay, how firm they're going to be. Once you've done that, look at the actual area. Hopefully you're shopping and you're looking at several areas. You've got to understand the area, the demographics, the competition, the adjacencies, okay? There could be similar businesses for a good reason or a bad reason. If they're bringing similar business there, maybe you want a piece of that. Maybe they're competing in such a way that they complement you. Are you in medical and they're all medical or children related? Maybe it's automotive and they're all having to do with car related businesses. What are the financial requirements? Now you're actually contacting the broker or the landlord. You want to find out right off the bat, what are their financial requirements? What are they going to ask you for? Are they asking you for a personal guarantee outside of your business? Are they asking for a co-signer? Are they asking for collateral? What are the reporting requirements they're going to ask you? Every year, are they going to want to see reports, financial reports, and see how your business is doing? Let's talk about the payments, basically the cost of this thing. What are the structure and terms? So you want to know upfront, what are you going to be responsible for each month? There's the basic rent, okay? There might be insurance, there might be utilities rolled into this, there might be common area maintenance, otherwise known as CAM charges or triple net. So that case you're paying beyond your space and you're paying for some of the amenities or the upkeep of the property. Is this based on a certain square footage or is it the actual use? Maybe they're charging you for your type of business versus the size of the suite. And don't be confused. A lot of times I have clients ask me to challenge the square footage the landlord is charging them for. Usually these things are predetermined. When the building is built, when the building's acquired, everything had to be built at one time. There's canopies. Okay, there's overhangs. They sometimes call it drip line. Most of it is taken from BOMA standards, and it's Building Owners Association. And so what they do is they have a standard on how they capture the square footage, and it's usually a gross number, and it's everything it took to build that footprint. Tenants are usually thinking about the usable tenant area. Your usable tenant area may be 1,200 square feet, but the lease is based on 1,324. It's good to know those numbers, okay, and understand what you're paying for. The duration, of your initial term, is it 3 years? Is it 5 years? There's some other things that go along with that. And then is there an extension? Do you have a guarantee extension to continue in that space, or maybe even to get the suite next door to you? Or is there ability to put those in your lease, right? It would be good to know. if you're asking the right questions. Improvements and maintenance responsibilities. Often these fall into things like the air conditioning. Are you responsible for the units and replacing them? That is often different in a, let's say, an office space versus a retail shopping center. Those are usually looked at differently, but you want to find out, number one, are they delivering these to you in new condition? Are they 20 years old and ready to go on their last leg, and now you've got to be responsible for replacing them? Or are they going to deliver them to you? Let's say they're in good condition, they're within the last 8 years, and you just need to do maintenance on them. So be clear. Do you have to pay replacement or just repair? It's good if you could cap that and say, hey, I'm going to pitch in up to a certain amount, and then the building owner has to kick in on that. Operating restrictions. Okay, this is the next set of bullet points. Operating restrictions, rules, and regulations. So, are you only allowed to have deliveries at a certain time? Are you only allowed to play music at a certain time? All those type of things. You want to look at the use. Is your use allowed in this building per zoning? They may or may not know that. You may need to hire your architect ahead of time to help you figure that out. Are there nuisance laws and environmental factors? Maybe you're automotive. Okay, is someone going to complain about break-in oil smells? Is it a dog center, kennel or boarding where you're going to have sound? Is it a gym where, again, there's sound, there's vibration, a lot of people coming in and out? Which leads me to parking. What parking can you secure? Do they have any kind of parking agreement that will allow you to get more parking? All of those type of things. Do you have some sort of pickup or delivery that you need parking spaces for? Be very clear about that when you're looking into your initial lease. The last set of factors is having to do with your times and penalties. So how much time are they giving you to do any improvements? Are they giving you an allowance and money towards that? Do they want you to show them proof of a certificate of occupancy, of permits? Are there contractor rules you need to be aware of if you do go to build this? Is it physically impossible to get in there and make a mess and get contractors in and out of there? How realistic are they? Is there penalties, defaults, and remedies? So let's say you do have to abandon the lease or move out at some point. Let's say the landlord actually does something. Let's say they have to repair and rip up the parking lot. Let's say there's a new building being built at the center in a vacant portion. Maybe something going on with the local intersection. So what is the landlord going to do when your business suffers? Is there anything in there that allows remedy and relief for you from the landlord? Look at radius restrictions, no compete clauses. There may be a business there that's similar to you that doesn't allow you to compete. And that will be a very lengthy process to go and get clearance from all of those businesses. Likewise, will they let you put one of those in the lease so someone else of a similar business can't come in and compete with you? Lastly, everything is negotiable. Okay, what they're going to tell you is the commercial broker is going to say, this is a boilerplate, we don't change anything, we just sign as is. But that's not true. Everything is negotiable, and you have to get something that works for you. Maybe they're going to give you an allowance and give you money to help you build your suite, but in order to recoup that, you're going to have to sign a longer lease, 5 years, 10 years. Perhaps the maintenance can be negotiated. There are lots of things that you can do, and it's a lengthy process. In one of my other videos, I tell you that takes many months. So, on that note, a way to save you time with all this is assembling a good team. The proper legal counsel, a real estate attorney, someone who can help redline, push this back and forth and offer you a little horsepower and muscle on your end. Your architect that can help you look at feasibility, code compliance, use right away while you're negotiating this. Your broker hopefully is going to bat for you to get you the best deal and knows the best spots to look at. You need to form that team right up front. Don't shop, don't wait. Leases take 3 to 6 months on average. Hopefully you are looking at multiple suites. You can get some leverage that way. You could tell this landlord, look, they're going to give me an offer down the street and I'm probably getting ready to sign this one. So you can push them against one another. Give the architect an opportunity to do feasibility on that space. Get them involved with your site selection. You may pay a little bit more for that pre-construction or pre-project service, but in the long run, maybe there's money you're saving that you would have had to put into another space or a site on a property that you weren't aware of until you sign a lease. You can also go through the overall project price, the timeline, and knowing that thing's feasible, how long it's going to take you. That may allow you up front to know you need to ask for more allowance, or you may need to ask for more free rent until you have to pay your lease, start paying your rent, because it's going to take you 6 months to get through design, permits, and construction. That is the way to do it. Come to WDS or go to your architect 12 months in advance. Share the resources. Learn from the experts. Don't go and do this alone. It can be scary. You don't want to just sign up and now all of a sudden you're stuck in this situation. This is your livelihood. It's your business. It's probably your nest egg or your loan that you're taking out. Let's do it right. I would love to help you. Please get in touch with me. Like this video, subscribe, reach out and ask questions. Meanwhile, keep loving what you do, enjoying life. I'm going to talk to you on the next one soon.